Motivational tips for daily success. Hey, we all know that motivation is super important, and we all have questions, but the biggest question is, how do you get motivated? And more importantly, once you get motivated, how do you stay motivated? That's even more important. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. Be motivated, stay motivated, and get more accomplished. And we're starting right now. Hey, I'm JR Fisher. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. There's a bell right next to that subscription button. If you ring that bell, you smash it really hard, it's going to make that noise right there, and then you've got to turn on all notifications. That way what? I can notify you every single time I do a new video. You're part of the VIP Fisher family, and you know, you're ahead of the line. That's pretty cool. In addition to that, I've got an e-commerce course that you can get below here. All you have to do is click that link and learn. It's super easy to do, no credit card required. Now, I've been selling online since 2009, and we've sold millions of dollars of both digital and physical products, and in doing so, hey, I've picked up a few things. So that's why this channel is here. This channel is here for you, so that you can learn these tips and techniques and get ahead of the other people and not have to make all those mistakes that some people make. Okay, so let's talk about motivation, what it is and how it's going to help you out in your business and in your life. Number one, and I'm going to give you each of these problems that we run into, but the number one problem with motivation is the fear of failure. I mean, that's really one of the biggest ones there are out there. And if you think about some of these industries, oh my God, look, just take technology. Okay, if you want to jump in technology and come up with something cool and neat, there's so much competition out there. It's so scary, and that fear of failure is the thing that stops most people. You know, they may have a great idea, they may have great motivation and all that, but they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to spend a lot of time on something only to find out that it's not going to work. But unfortunately, you have to overcome that one. You know, that's not one I can fix. Fear of failure is something that everybody has, but here's the truth about failure: the more times you fail, the closer you are to success. Now, a lot of people don't want to go through that failure, but you know, by not trying anything at all, by not doing anything, you are automatically a failure because you haven't done anything. Okay, and I don't want to call you a failure, but if you're not trying, basically you're choosing to fail when you could have possibly succeeded. So number one is fear of failure. You got to get over that. You know, Mark Cuban of Shark Tank says that, you know, he knows he's going to encounter some failures. Now, he's a billionaire, and he says that, you know, sometimes I'll get 19 out of 20 successes, but that one failure really bothers me. He said recently that he had lost $1.5 million on one of his deals, and it was still driving him crazy. So no matter what level you get to, yeah, it's going to bother you, but you just got to understand that going through the process over and over again is going to gain you some successes, and it doesn't take too many successes to make up for a lot of failures. I know that from products, I know that from marketing, I know that from ads, because every single one of those areas I've had failures in, but I've also had successes in all those areas too. Number two, do what you're passionate about. That is a big thing. Okay, if you are working on a project, if you're working on products or services or whatever, and it's an area that you really enjoy, that's going to be one thing that's going to keep you more motivated. I know my wife is into animal rescue, and she's into dogs and dog training, and she gets frustrated, right? And I get frustrated when I work in too, but the thing that keeps her motivated is she knows that if she keeps trying and she keeps putting out good content, she's going to help some people. She's going to help dog owners, she's going to help dogs, and that love for that particular niche is the thing that's going to keep her going, and the reason she'll be successful. So try to pick something that you're passionate about, something you care about, something that you can actually make a change in the world about, and you'll find that that's going to bring you the motivation to do what you need to do. Now, the next thing I'll tell you is passion is great. I think it's awesome. Not all passions are a business. Okay, so if you have a particular passion about a particular thing, and you want to make money doing it, make sure you find somebody out there that's making money doing it. Okay, if there's nobody making money off your passion, whatever it may be, then it may not be something that you want to do. Unfortunately, you may have to keep those things a hobby and find something else. Number 3, keep affirmations where you can see them. Okay, now an affirmation, what is it? It's a goal you may have, it's something you may want to achieve, it's maybe a trip you want to take. Right now there's a ring light right in front of me. Okay, you can't see it because you're on the other side of the camera, but on that ring light there's a little sticker on the bottom, and it's got one of the affirmations that myself and my wife share, and that's something that we're really going after. So every time I do a video I have to see it. It's right there, right there. See that? You can't see it, it's there. Okay, and it's on our computers, it's in several different areas, so that as we're working through the day, if we get a little discouraged or we get a little bit down or we get tired or whatever, we look at that affirmation and go, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this, that's the reason I'm doing this, that's why I've had to sit here for 3 hours and type, that's why I've had to, you know, do this sales page over and over again. It's because of that little affirmation there. And if you have that, that will help you get motivated and stay motivated. Number 4, leverage the power of rejection. Okay, now that sounds crazy, but I want to tell you a story real quick. On June 26, 2008, Michael Seibel introduced to 7 prominent investors in Silicon Valley. He was attempting to raise $150,000 at a 1.5 million valuation for a little company called Airbnb. This means for $150,000 you could have had 10% of Airbnb. Now the end of that story, today Airbnb is worth $30 billion. Not a bad return on your investment. Now number 5 is surround yourself with successful people. I don't care how motivated you are, I don't care how hard you work, I don't care what your morals are. If you have negative people around you, if you have lazy people around you, that's going to rub off on you. You don't want that. You need to go out and find successful people. Now people will say, well, how do I do that? How do I find successful people? How am I going to get around successful people? And I would say it's the same thing as if you want to pick a mate. Okay, if you want to pick the right person and you have an ideal person, you want somebody who's clean and neat and intelligent and works hard and, you know, does all the right things and is honest, then that's what you've got to become, and that's what you're going to attract. So I see so many people who are trying to meet the love of their life, you know, and they're overweight and they don't exercise and they eat wrong and they're lazy, and you know, they go to happy hour and hang out there and they expect to meet this perfect person who has all these good attributes. It's not going to happen. The first thing you need to change is yourself. If people see you as a successful person, if people see you working hard and treating other people right and being honest and putting out good content and being consistent with what you do, that's the kind of people that are going to want to be around you, because they're looking for the same kind of people, right? We're all in this together, and we're going to actually match up with people who are like ourselves. So make sure you surround yourself with successful people, and you can do that through meetup groups, you can do that through conventions, you can do that through all kinds of means, online videos, contacting people. But the point is, you need to be what you want to attract. Number 6, never feel sorry for yourself. Okay, that's hard to do, but it really isn't hard to do once you learn the talent of this. Things are going to go wrong. Every single person's life, there's things that go wrong. If you stop and you feel sorry for yourself for 5 minutes, Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank says 5 minutes of feeling sorry for yourself can destroy weeks of success. That's crazy, right? So when something bad happens to you, you never know what's going to be around the corner. And this has happened to me so many times in life. It's happened to myself and my wife, and you know, you think it's just a horrible thing, and oh my gosh, how could this happen to us? And it actually opened up a door for something else. So I would actually say, when something bad happens, get excited, because something good's going to come of that. And I don't know what it is, I don't know where it's coming from, but I know your reaction to it can make all the difference in the world. If you sit back and you just feel sorry for yourself and oh, whoa, was me, then of course that's probably what you're going to attract, is more of that stuff, you know. And I hear people talk like that, and I know that kind of person, because they're going to say, no matter what I do, this happens, or every time I do this, this happens. It seems like I keep attracting bad luck. And they're actually telling themselves these things. They're actually telling themselves. And you know, well, as a kid I didn't participate much in sports, and I would tell myself, well, I'm probably not going to be good at this, I probably won't be the fastest runner, I probably won't do this. But as a grown-up, I go to the gym and I have a different look at it now. I look at it and say, well, I could beat that person, and I could beat that person, I could lift more weight here, and I could run faster or bike faster than that person there. And I tell myself these things, and guess what? Those things actually come to light, and they actually happen because I've changed my outlook on those things. Number 7 is look for inspiration. Oh my gosh, you know, with the internet now, there are so many inspiring stories out there, people who overcame things. A number of years ago I got to meet a gentleman named Sean Stevenson, and his whole goal in life was to wipe out insecurities for people. Now this is a picture right here of me and Sean Stevenson, and as you can see, he was confined to a wheelchair. He couldn't even go to the bathroom by himself. He had something that was called brittle bone disease, and he recently died last year. And he was one of the most inspirational people I think I've ever met, because of what he accomplished with all of the obstacles he had. Now as you look at him, I don't know what your obstacles are, I don't know what your abilities are. I know his were very, very limited, and he still overcame them. So you know, what crutches are you sitting on right now? What limitations are you, you know, kind of saying, well, I can't because of this? Stop that. Look for somebody inspiring, look for somebody who's achieved something that you want to achieve, and concentrate on those people, not on the things that you have that are limiting you. Number 8, don't obsess over your vision. Okay, so it's good to have a vision, it's something you want to do, but don't spend that much time on it. In a recent interview with Elon Musk, he said that he only spends about 30 minutes a week on his SpaceX project of colonizing Mars. So it's on the table and he spends time on it, but he doesn't obsess over it. He says he spends most of his time working on things that he can get immediate results on right now. Number 9, be grateful. You know, when people say, you know, how did you do this, how did you accomplish this, most of the time I'll tell them it's because I was grateful for what I had. I remember not having much. I remember not living in a nice house. I remember not being able to go to nice restaurants, or you know, have good family relations, or whatever it is, and now I really appreciate them. And if you can get that appreciation, that will help you so very much towards staying motivated. Gary Vaynerchuk says if you want to fuel the win, be grateful. That's what you got to do. If you want to fuel the win, be grateful. So if you're not grateful for what you have, and I don't care what you have, I promise you it's more than somebody else. There's always somebody who has less than you, and I guess when you get down to that last person who has the very least in the world, there's the dead people. Okay, so even he or she has more than the dead people. Okay, so if you're listening to this, you're alive. Okay, so that's where you can start off being grateful, because whatever situation you're in, whatever problems you're having, you can change. Number 10, this is crazy, forget about motivation. Forget about it. Now what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is so many people sit around and they go, yeah, when I get motivated to do that, I'm going to do that and I'm going to kick butt. Okay, motivation doesn't work that way. Motivation is not based on you feeling like you want to do something. Successes fuel motivation, and I'll give you an example about that. If you were to go out and you were a salesperson and you make 10 sales calls and 8 of them say no, but the last 2 say yes, where is the motivation? Where do you feel the most motivated? Was it in the 8 that said no to you, or was it in the 2 that said yes to you? You see, as soon as you accomplish a success, it will fuel you to be more motivated. And the fact is, motivation is not success. Success is motivation. So you actually have to achieve some success to feel motivated to keep going. So if you go to the gym and you go to the gym for 2 weeks and you don't see any results, well, you could actually get unmotivated. But what you have to do when you go to the gym is you just got to go every single day until you see some results somewhere. And maybe it's losing 5 pounds, maybe it's being able to lift more weight, whatever it is. Once you see that success, that is going to give you the motivation. So don't get it backwards. Motivation is not success. Success is motivation. As soon as you get a little bit of success, it'll motivate you to do more, and as you do more, you'll get more successes, and then it's a snowball effect. Now I hope you enjoyed these 10 tips. They will help you out. You have to put them into play. Don't wait to feel motivated to do these things. Okay, you got to just force yourself to do stuff that you don't feel comfortable doing, that you don't want to do, but that you know is right for you. If you do that, you'll find that motivation will find you, and you no longer have to search for motivation. Now I want to know, which one of these do you think is going to help you the most, or which ones are you going to put into practice? Put your comments below. If you have some questions about motivations and how to get more motivated, put your questions below. I would love to hear them. Now, as I promised at the end of this video, there's a free e-commerce course. All you have to do is click the link and you can get the free course, no credit card required. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and ring the bell, ring that bell right there, and if you ring the bell and turn on all notifications, you'll be notified every single time I do a new video. You'll be part of the Fisher family. You'll be one of those VIP people. I really appreciate you listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.